Тож, колеги, я вас вітаю. Мене звати Олександр Приходько, я менеджер з розвитку аграрних ринків програми «USAID Agro». Сьогодні ми будемо проводити наш наступний вебінар, де ми розказуємо про можливості виходу на міжнародні ринки. І сьогодні у нас дуже цікавий гість з цікавим кейсом. Відверто скажу, для мене це було відкриття, як можна доволі легко, скажімо так, з будь-якої точки світу відкрити для себе ринки європейські. Це дає можливість кейс компанії Kwayga. І сьогодні ми запросили на нашу зустріч Майка, який презентує можливості самої платформи, розкаже, які успішні кейси з українських компаній, так і міжнародних вже вдалося вирішити, і взагалом, як можна використовувати платформу для розвитку міжнародного ринку. Отож, Майк, я вітаю вас сьогодні на вебінарі. Передаю слово вам для презентації вас, презентації платформи і можливостей, які можуть отримати українські виробники продуктів харчування.
Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Alexander. I appreciate this opportunity and nice to meet you today. I'm just double checking that you can hear me okay before I begin.
Так, все добре.
Thank you. So today I want to introduce you to opportunities in the EU in particular. We can discuss the UK separately if you wish. We operate in Ireland, the UK, we operate in France, Netherlands, Scandinavia. We work with large buyers of food and drinks, and we identify supply chain partners. We identify suppliers for them across the globe, including the EU, including the Ukraine and further afield. But I have received a number of questions, Alexander. Thank you for sharing your questions today about rules on Kwayga, about rules and certificates to enter the EU, about how to identify potential partners, how to identify supply chain partners, what requirements are needed for food products, how packaging and labeling is required, questions on certificates, organic certificates, and general information about food trade digitally. So I can address these questions in my presentation. I can discuss these with you as by way of examples. And if there's further questions during today's presentation, please ask me. Please use the questions and answers feature on Zoom, and please use the questions and answers feature on Zoom, and we can address those questions during the presentation. Okay, so I will just share my screen and one moment, and I will introduce you to Kwayga and the opportunities that we have and discuss different food categories of interest. So Kwayga is an Irish word, just so you know. Kwayga is the Irish for 50, because there are 50 million food producers in the world. And we work with large food buyers, particularly supermarkets, to identify food producers, to identify food suppliers. That includes ingredients, finished goods. And when it's finished goods, it's both private label and branded products. So we have a platform, we have a technology business, and there are other platforms that we can discuss. We have a platform that works with supermarket buyers specifically to find new products. When supermarkets are looking for new products, and supermarkets are looking for new products for different reasons. They might have a new private label opportunity. I would say 90% of European supermarkets are looking to increase their private label brands, their own brands, their store brands, their private label. So all the conversations that we have, all supermarkets that we speak with every day and every week are looking to increase their supermarket own brands. Not exclusively. Some of them are also interested in branded products, but all of them are interested in private label opportunities. So you should bear this in mind as the first thing. So when we speak to supermarket buyers, they're looking for new private label partners. They are looking for new supply chain partners to resolve a supply chain problem. So they may have an existing supplier that is causing a difficulty, has a shortage of supply, is at capacity, the price is increased. There's different reasons why an existing relationship is difficult. And based on this, buyers are looking for new supply chain partners. They're also looking to reduce cost. So food production, energy costs, raw materials, ingredients, all these costs have increased since the global pandemic. And unfortunately, obviously, with the invasion in Ukraine, but costs on food and energy have increased, and supermarkets are looking for new partners who can offer a good quality product at a better price. So every supermarket is interested in reducing costs. So if you have a product that you can offer at a better price than the existing product, as the existing supplier, then you're in a strong position. Supermarkets are also looking for new emerging and trending products. They are looking for products which have improved health benefits. They are looking for products that are higher levels of protein, lower levels of sugar, lower levels of salt, lower levels of chemicals. They're looking for clean labels. Now, Ukraine has a big advantage because the production quality of Ukrainian produce is very strong. And Ukraine has an advantage over other countries because of the quality that you have in your supply chain and the proximity you have to good raw ingredients. So buyers are looking for new supply chain partners for those three reasons primarily, because of a supply chain problem, because of a new private label opportunity, or because of an increase in a healthy, trending, emerging product. And they are the opportunities at a very high level for supermarket buyers. There are other opportunities in food service and other food supply chains, but all the requests that we see on Kwayga are for these primary reasons. So just in terms of suppliers then coming to use Kwayga, and I'll get back into more specifics in a while, but Kwayga is free to join. There is no cost for suppliers. You can browse for free. You can create a profile for free. We verify your profile. We do some due diligence on every company, including buyers. And this was one of the questions from earlier today before the webinar. How do we stop bad actors or fake profiles? So we check all buyers. All buyers on Kwayga are legitimate, are verified, are creditworthy, are well-known brands. So that's the promise that we give to suppliers, that all buyers are 100% correct and accurate, and they have a budget and they have a need. So suppliers can join Kwayga for free. You can create a free profile, and it's important to create a profile of your company, of your history, of your capability, of your product range, of what you're developing in the future, on your packaging, etc. You can give lots of information on your profile, including your certifications, your awards, your reference customers. Your reference customers are very important and relevant to buyers. If they do not know you, they will know your customers. So that's important. On Kwayga, you can browse requests, and we will do this shortly as part of the presentation. You can review opportunities from different supermarkets. If you are interested in a request, you can express interest. This is just identifying that you have the capacity and the capability and the interest to have a conversation with a buyer. Buyers at this stage will take a different approach. Some of them will want more information on your company. They might want to see copies of your certification. Some of them will want to see a brochure or a data sheet. Some buyers will want a sample. They will want to receive a simple physical product sample on their desk so they can review the packaging, they can taste it. And some buyers give very strict deadlines on samples. They give you a particular time, a location within 10, 15 days. And this is the first test. This is the first test for a producer to see if you can deliver a sample product at the right time, at the right location to meet their needs. And that's how they do due diligence. Some suppliers are interested in prices. Straight away, they want to find out how much it costs, what's the price. So they will ask you about your pricing and commercials. A lot of this conversation takes place on Kwayga. And on Kwayga, we have translation. We do not yet have interpreters like this call, but we have translation. So you can type and communicate in Ukrainian, and the buyer can communicate in English or Spanish or French or Portuguese, and they can reply back in their own language, and the information is translated on Kwayga for you to reply to. So this helps with the communication. So that's the first thing in terms of the buyers, or so the suppliers. Now, in terms of who we're working with, so this is an example of the supermarket chains on Kwayga. We are based in Ireland. So most of our buyers are based in Ireland and the UK, two English-speaking countries in Western Europe. So most of our buyers are in Ireland and the UK. However, we work with other buyers across Europe. Aramark, as an example, we work with 7 different countries with Aramark in Europe. So we have buyers from Aramark in Ireland, the UK, Spain, Belgium, Germany, Czech Republic, and Poland. So 7 different countries that Aramark are using Kwayga. Dunstores is in Ireland, Aldi is in Ireland, the UK, and we're now starting to work with Aldi Global Sourcing. So they will have global opportunities across multiple countries from Aldi, and similarly with Lidl. Morrison's and Tesco are in the UK. And if you are interested in the UK market, you do need to understand the new trade arrangements between the Ukraine and UK, but the EU and the UK. As the UK has left the European Union, logistics and customs clearance, especially for food products, is more difficult. The UK can be difficult for some categories of food. So just be careful that in terms of your preparation and your expectations, that there might be potential delays with logistics in and out of the UK because of Brexit, of when Britain left the European Union. So these are some examples. We can show you some requests at a later stage. We have a testimonial, a reference here from a Ukrainian supplier. They joined Kwayga. They connected with a major supermarket chain, and within 6 months, their products were on shelf in 160 stores. This is in Ireland. Ireland is a small country. So this is just an example of how they can create a profile. In a couple of months, you can get a product on shelf. And Scania Pack has been very successful in Ireland and the UK with opportunities from Kwayga. From the buyer side, and these are some examples of what buyers are saying. They like depending on Kwayga because they can find new supply chain partners. Kwayga is very good at discovering new supply chain partners, and depending on a supplier's profile, their product, their scale, their capacity that they have in your factory, we can promote your company to buyers. Like I said, mainly in Western Europe, including Ireland, UK, France, Netherlands, and Scandinavia are where we're most active at the moment. In terms of the platform, I just want to explain a little bit further before we go to some examples on categories. We can discuss food categories shortly. But what Kwayga does and what other buyers are doing on other platforms, it allows you to expand your reach. It allows you to connect with buyers. You connect with buyers on Kwayga when they are purchasing. You connect to them when they're doing a category review, they're doing a range review, they have a current supply chain problem, they're looking for a new opportunity. The connections on Kwayga are very timely because the intent is there from the buyer. It's not like LinkedIn or maybe you've gone to a trade show where the buyer is not purchasing right now. On Kwayga, the buyer is purchasing today. And when you receive a request from a buyer on Kwayga, it's a live opportunity at this moment. So that allows you to expand your reach and boost your sales opportunities. We have built in we have a technology platform. We have replicated what works in the real world. We have been working in the food and drink sector for 15 years. So we have a good idea of what buyers are looking for. So I'll just make this a little bit larger just in terms of this text. So we have alerts. There's email alerts, notifications. When you create a profile on Kwayga, you will get an alert that a supermarket or a large food buyer is looking for your product. So that's the first thing is you'll get email alerts and notifications. You can review all current requests, which we can do shortly, and you can preview the buyer requirements. So what exactly is the buyer looking for? So what specifically in terms of the profile that they have, what exactly are they looking for in terms of the details, the volumes, the criteria, the specification, the ingredients, the labeling, the packaging. All this information is decided by the buyer. The buyer sets out their request, and some people asked me earlier about certifications and standards. This is at the buyer level. So there is no certification or standard to join Kwayga. Every supermarket, every large food buyer has different certifications and standards. Many of them, and particularly the larger ones like Tesco and Marks and Spencer's and Carrefour, they want you to have BRC, British Retail Consortium certification. BRC is very important if you're want to work with a very large supermarket. Some other smaller supermarkets, not so much, but BRC, IFS, SEDEX, SEDEX, and then if you're supplying coffee or cocoa, the likes of fair trade. But BRC, IFS, SEDEX, these are three of the most frequently asked certifications that we see from large buyers on Kwayga and in general in Europe. What we do, as we mentioned, we help you to connect with the right buyer for your product at the right time. And we do this through translation and interpretation if needs be. So there's no more language barriers. We're trying to remove language barriers on Kwayga, which is important for everyone. In terms of some case studies, this was with oil suppliers. So we're talking about edible oils, sunflower oils, olive oils. Lots of supermarkets were looking for new olive oil companies in the past. We had 4 buyers in different supermarket chains looking for requests on Kwayga. What happens is they will all come to us at the same time for same requests at different stages in the year, in the season. depending on the seasonality of the product. If there's a supply chain issue at the same time, we will receive the same requests from different supermarkets, all within a couple of weeks of each other. So at this time, we had 4 buyers, different supermarket chains looking for edible oils. With a free account, suppliers were automatically notified about these opportunities. So we send an email alert to about these opportunities. Suppliers can review and express interest. So if you're interested in the product, if you have capacity to deliver, if you're comfortable with the location in terms of packaging and logistics, if you can meet the demand and make a supply, you can review the opportunity and express interest. There is no cost to do this. It's free for suppliers to engage and communicate because the buyers, it's the large supermarkets, are paying Kwayga. And the result is what you will see is that after a short space of time, suppliers will converse with the right buyer at the right time, and successful partnerships, successful contracts will be negotiated. So Kwayga is at the very top of the process in terms of sourcing. Then you come to samples, negotiation, pricing. Further, you come to contracts, logistics, order placement. Kwayga focuses up here at the early stage of the opportunity pipeline for you. And this example, as you can see, was olive oil. There's a couple of questions which always come up, and then I will show you some of the live opportunities or the live requests. So, what are the fees? Kwayga.com is free, and it does have a paid plan for larger suppliers. So larger producers can upgrade, but 90% of suppliers pay nothing. It's 90% of Kwayga is free for suppliers, and we would ask everyone to look at this at a free basis. On a free basis, there is no commissions, there is no hidden fees. In terms of the details of on our pricing page, Kwayga is not an agent or broker. We do not sell your product. You sell your own product, and you own the relationship with your customers. We do not charge rebates or commissions. There is no rebates or commissions charged. When you negotiate with a buyer, you negotiate directly. We do not represent buyers or suppliers. We facilitate a conversation taking place on Kwayga. Kwayga is a trusted platform in Europe. We verify each buyer, each supplier, and each trade request. So everything is legitimate, and there are no time wasters on Kwayga. And just to mention, Kwayga is available for free. So that's the Kwayga overview and intro in terms of pricing. What I might show you is just some live requests. These are some current requests. Try and make this a little bit bigger. So you can see this information at the moment. When you see Kwayga as a guest, you can search for products. If you're a supplier of biscuits, you can search for biscuits, and you can have different type of biscuits, Jaffa cake biscuits, chocolate biscuits, as an example. You can see the requests that are here, which are live. Baby biscuits is one at the moment. It's private label. When you're reviewing this request, you can see some details here, and then we can log in as well. A new supplier of private label biscuits is approximate annual volume. So it's 130,000 units. So it's a small order. It's a supermarket in Ireland, which is often the case when it's small. And they have a benchmark product, which is Liga. So Liga is a brand of baby biscuits in Ireland, and they're looking for 130,000 units. So this is a brief request. When you click on view requests, you need to sign in. Let me see now if I can sign in. I'll just stop sharing there 1 sec. I want to check and get a supplier profile where I can browse around. I can show you what this looks like. I need to check my passwords. Apologies. I should have this set up. One moment, I will just share my screen once again. I'm now logged in. So when I go back here to this deal center, we were talking about baby biscuits. I'm logged in as a test supplier here. In terms of baby biscuits, the buyer has decided to be private, which is a decision they often make. They're located in Ireland, their turnover is in this size, and this is our first request. So this is a new request from a buying team. If I was a baby biscuit supplier, I could express interest. But more importantly, what I can do is I can understand more details on the product, as we discussed, the volumes, the location, the reference type, and what the age of this is very relevant when it's a child or a baby. Over here, they have outlined the quantity, the target price. They have no budget in mind, and so I do know target price is not specified, and it's supplying to Ireland, as we mentioned. In terms of location, the buyer will tell you in terms of location. So in this situation, it's Ireland, EU, and UK is where they're interested in. It does not specify Ukraine in particular, but if you have a free trade, if you can move product into the EU with zero customs, then I think the buyer will consider this. If you had a question about this situation, you could also ask Kwayga, and we can ask the buyer. There is this place down here where we can ask questions for buyers. There is no turnover and there's no certificates. So for this situation, it's a very straightforward request from the buyer, and you can see this request here, and you can see other requests in their deal center. You can filter by category, depending on what your offering is. If you're doing frozen foods, you can click on frozen foods. There's frozen acai here. You can see requests that are acai is a trending product. This is something that lots of supermarkets are interested in at the moment. Acai and avocado. Some of these superfoods are very popular with supermarket buyers at the moment. You can see different drinks. You can see grocery requests. Depending on what you supply, you can see different snacks, rices, and these requests are live. These are live at the moment. When you go into them, this is a rice example, similar to the biscuits. The buyer is detailed and profiled here. You can see that this buyer has had over 30 requests with Kwayga, which is quite a number. So we know exactly who they are. In terms of the rice opportunity, just by way of example, they've described the purpose of the rice, the number of SKUs that they have, that they want, the types of rice that they're looking for, and the overall tons. You can see over here, sorry, on the right-hand side, that they wanted 900 shipping tons of rice. So that's quite a large order. Down here, they have identified the references, the certifications that they're looking for. So whether it is SEDEX, BRC, or equivalent. And it's up to the suppliers to decide if they have this equivalent situation in place. So this is what a Kwayga request looks like. Like I said, it's free to join, free to express interest, and free to start a conversation with a buyer. You can communicate in the messaging center, which is translated. You can make connections in the connection center. And this is where this test profile has one connection, which is only Kwayga, but you can make further connections in the future. And then the other steps over here is just around the administration and the notifications. So I've done this brief overview of Kwayga at this stage and outlining how we operate. I'm just wondering at this stage now, after 30 minutes, should we just pause and take some questions before we discuss further? If that's okay, Alexander?
Так, в мене є декілька запитань. Також зараз подивлюся, тому що у нас іде трансляція на YouTube. Чи є там запитання, я буду агрегувати і задавати. З вигляду дуже класно, і дякую вам за таку платформу, тому що з мого досвіду не було ще простішого інструменту, де ти можеш отак в два кліка знайти категорійного менеджера і той продукт, якщо тобі потрібен. У мене тут інше запитання. Якщо, мовно, продукту в переліку немає, але я як виробник якогось, наприклад, снеку, чи можу я зробити зворотній запит до категорійних менеджерів, що ось новинка, будь ласка, потестуйте, подивіться, чи це вам потрібно. Чи є такий варіант співпраці?
Yes, it's a great question. So within your supplier profile, you can provide some information on your company, but also you can provide information on your new snack, on your new product. Within your supplier profile, all these profiles are visible to buyers. So confectionery and snack buyers specifically who work in this category can view the profile, they can research the product, and they can request samples from you if you're happy to send them. So having an updated profile on your product range is the first step in terms of identifying a suitable snack opportunity. The second thing is you will receive an email alert. You will receive an email to your inbox when a buyer comes looking for snacks that are similar and related. And the third thing, which we will look at in next year, is something that where buyers are asking us always about new products, new product development, what's in the pipeline, what's emerging. So we are creating a location on Kwayga next year where suppliers can post information about new products. You can do this. We need to possibly anonymously that you can post brief information on the product that we will share with buyers to get them engaging with you. So we're trying to figure out how to do this so that competitors cannot see the information, but buyers can receive the information that'll interest them and that'll create a connection and a conversation for you. So the first thing is the profile. The second thing is you'll receive an email request when there's a product request. And finally, in next year, we will have an opportunity for you to promote new products as well.
Виглядає дуже круто. Дякую за це.
Welcome.
Також, чи є якісь додаткові опції для просування? Чи дивитесь в цьому? Умовно, є висококонкурентні ринки, так? Або висококонкурентні продукти. І тут чи можу, умовно, я, як український виробник, заявити про себе, щоб поборотися і все ж таки попасти в перелік перегляду того чи іншого там лінійки товарів? Чи є така опція?
We focus on the buyer originally, as in we work with buyers. We meet with buyers every week. We meet with all our customers every week to understand what new products they're looking for. What's the current supply chain problem, new private label opportunity, or new trending emerging products. So we meet with buyers every week. So sharing information with us is helpful. We can start a conversation. And like, as I said, on Kwayga next year, we will have a public available information where suppliers can post product updates or contract wins or new product development information. We're just trying to balance that information over confidentiality, commercial sensitiveness, and not to be seen as spam, not to be seen as over promoting any particular supplier. So we're just getting the balance right. But we welcome opportunities to discuss and learn about new products, about new trends, about new ingredients, about environmentally friendly packaging. All of Aldi's buyers for 2025 and beyond want environmentally friendly packaging. So suppliers that can supply a product in environmentally friendly packaging will have conversations very quickly with Aldi in 2025 and beyond. They're already looking for this, but they have said to us, every new supplier in the future, all conversations will start with the packaging. Sustainability, environmentally friendliness, and green supply chains are very important to Western European consumers at the moment and in the future, and Aldi and other supermarkets are interested in this. I'm just making one example. If you have a product in environmentally friendly packaging, then we can promote this to suitable buyers for you quickly.
Ну, тобто, треба бути інноваційним, треба розуміти тренди, і тоді безпосередньо самі покупці набагато швидше на тебе зреагують. Якщо повернутися до питання трендів, чи відслідковуєте, або чи є можливість у вас відслідковувати, оскільки ви так дуже плідно спілкуєтесь з категорійними менеджерами з мереж, чи відслідковуєте ви тренди на наступних півроку-рік, і чи можна це якось подавати самим виробникам, щоб виробники орієнтувалися на майбутнє? От тільки що питання само виникло.
Yes, we have lots of conversations on trends. Some supermarkets are very interested in short-term trends, and what they want to do is they want to identify which products are on TikTok that they want in their trolley in the next 3 months. They want to do it very rapidly. Some supermarkets want to identify longer term trends in terms of trends that will sustain over multiple years, over 2, 3, 4 years. Since the COVID pandemic, there has been 2 significant trends in Western European supermarkets. Number 1 is there's been a big increase in healthy products, in healthy produce, in products with increased protein level, products with functional health, so probiotics, prebiotics, immunosupport, products that make people healthier are now on the radar of every supermarket. So products that are removed, low levels of sugar, low levels of salt, low levels of fats are very popular. Consumers are now looking for healthier products. So this is the one big trend where there's a big surge in supermarkets, and all buyers are looking for healthier products across the range. And some of it is a bit unusual. Now there's high protein breakfast cereals, high protein pastas, high protein rice, and these are 3 areas where protein was never mentioned before. Everyone is interested in protein and functional health and reduced sugar, salt, fat levels. So that's the first kind of trend that we will see continuing to develop. The second trend, which all supermarkets are restructuring for at the moment, the second big trend is convenience. So supermarket buyers are now, as in consumers and customers, are visiting the supermarket more frequently with a smaller shop. They're visiting 3 or 4 times per week to get items for the next few days. The big shop, the big trolley, once per week or once per 2 weeks, the numbers are reducing. So all supermarkets are restructuring their offering, they're restructuring their shelves to deliver more convenient food, to deliver food that is more consumed quickly, food that is prepared quickly, and food that is in smaller portions. So they're the two big trends from a food perspective that we see. So suppliers and producers that can produce healthy products or products that can improve the level of sugar, salt, fat, and improve the health of the consumer. That's very popular. And also convenient product that is quick, consumed quickly, is more in a retail format as opposed to a big format. So the bigger formats are reducing, and the supermarkets are looking for smaller formats of products, so that consumption process is improving. They're the two product trends that we see. The third trend is, as I mentioned, around the packaging. So, and any information, any insights on the carbon footprint, on the quality of packaging, the environmentally friendly packaging, the benefits to the environment of the product. All this information is now being of interest, and buyers are looking for suppliers that can help them with their obligations. So all the supermarkets are obliged in the EU to improve their sustainability efforts, to improve their green credentials, and they want to green their supply chain. So supply chain partners, producers that can help supermarkets with their green supply chain will be very popular for the next few years.
Дякую за таку широку відповідь. Маю запитання з чату. Якщо дивитися на прикладі України, так, там і через війну, і взагалом, що Україна поки що не є частиною ЄС, у нас довгий ланцюг постачання, а тут ми говоримо про поставку в рітейли, і ми чітко розуміємо, що рітейл – це системні поставки умовно невеликих партій, але на постійній основі. Чи є у вас на платформі, або, можливо, сам рітейл рекомендує дистриб'ютори або компанії, які надають все ж таки послуги складування чи там доставки меншими партіями? От якщо з досвіду, тому що ми бачимо, що у вас є досвід роботи з українськими компаніями, як цю проблему можна вирішити за допомогою вашої платформи, чи все ж таки потрібно вже приходити виробниково з готовим рішенням, системним? І от як в цьому випадку? Дуже хотілося почути з вашого досвіду.
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, and it depends on the buyer. So some buyers will expect the producer to have their own logistics solution. They will expect just one clarification here. Most buyers will expect the supplier and the producer to get the product from Ukraine to the supermarket store, the supermarket distribution center. Most buyers will expect that the responsibility on logistics will be with the supplier. So the supplier, most of the buyers we see, they operate on the Incoterm DDP, delivery duty paid. So while there might be zero duty, the responsibility of logistics is on the supplier. Some buyers will expect you to manage logistics yourself. Other buyers are happy for you to use a third-party distribution company, a consolidator, a logistics company at our warehouse that can bring in different brands, consolidate them, and service multiple buyers. So some buyers like Aldi and Marks and Spencers and Tesco, some of the bigger ones, they want to deal direct. They want to negotiate directly, and they want to operate directly, and they prefer not to have any distributors. The distributors, they charge a fee. It costs money. And some of the supermarkets are not happy about this cost. However, they need to be practical and they need a solution. And if the product is unique, or if the product offering is strong from a price perspective, if the commercial makes sense, then they may be willing to work with you and a distributor. From our experience, and we have experience getting Ukrainian product on shelf in Ireland, the responsibility has been with the supplier to get the product either A, directly to Ireland, which has happened in some cases, or B, into Poland or Lithuania, or nearby country, a nearby EU country. So from there, logistics can be organized. So there are, in our example in Ireland and also in the UK, we know there are distributors who specialize in bringing product from Eastern Europe, including Ukraine, to Western Europe. There are other distributors that we can identify and we can make a connection if somebody needs a solution partner to bring the product. But some of the distributors will require you to get the product into the EU, and a smaller number of distributors will work with you from Ukraine and they will collect the product in Ukraine. Alexander, I'm not sure if you know, but has there been any business, a Ukrainian company, that has decided to help and can start consolidating orders from SMEs to bring them into EU together? Because this, to me, would be a wise step. It would be a useful solution in this situation.
Дуже цікаво. І тут я хочу підрезюмувати, підсумувати, що ту модель, по якій ви хочете як виробник співпрацювати, маєте обрати самі. І ця модель має максимально відповідати тому клієнту, з яким ви хочете працювати. Але з того, що там Майк озвучив з прикладів, тобто ви маєте бути гнучкими, якщо ви вбачаєте вихід на ті чи інші країни, на ті чи інші ринки, на ті чи інші супермаркети. Тобто тут ваша домашня робота, яку ви маєте виконати, тому що ринок висококонкурентний, ринок насичений, і ви маєте чітко це розуміти, що так, ви класний виробник, але за будь-який ринок потрібно поборотися і, відповідно, побудувати ту модель, яка була б сама оптимальна як для вас, так і для рітейла. Тобто це от таке домашнє завдання, яке ви маєте зробити до моменту виходу на платформу, на саму співпрацю на міжнародні ринки. Тому все залежить від вас, тобто і бути оптимістом, і треба розуміти, вибудовувати, як що це. Майк, буквально 5 хвилин ми будемо завершувати. Якщо я попрошу ще додаткову інформацію, якою ти можеш поділитися, також прошу поділитися контактом LinkedIn в чаті, компанії просять. Ще від себе хочу сказати, що всім учасникам ми розійшлемо посилання безпосередньо на ресурси, безпосередньо на контакти Майка, а також посилання на відео, тому що в Україні зараз, якщо станом на зараз, відсутня електроенергія, але ми працюємо, незважаючи ні на що, незважаючи на війну, українські компанії працюють і будуть працювати. Тому, Майк, слово фінальне тобі, і на цьому ми будемо завершувати. Дуже дякую за сьогоднішню розмову.
Thank you, Alexander. And I want to reconfirm or to tell your audience, I'm available. You can share my contact details. You can share my LinkedIn. I'm happy to help your producers, your friends here, and your colleagues on the webinar. if they want any assistance or any questions about Kwayga or about food in general in the EU. I enjoy talking about this topic every day, so please connect with me. So thank you for this. And happily, I will share some information with you afterwards, which you can circulate. So just a more brochure, more details on what we discussed. So just in terms of a very brief summary, I think the timing is very good for Ukrainian food producers to be looking at EU opportunities, EU and the UK. I think the timing is good because of the quality of your product. The quality of your produce is excellent, and we have received samples in the past from USAID members, and the quality of Ukrainian food is excellent. The commercials, that the price and the value is very good, and what you need to what I believe the number one suggestion, the number one recommendation I would make for you is to understand and determine your logistics and distribution route. So how can you move the product, that excellent product? Sorry, no, I'll give a better example. How can you move the product from Ukraine to France to Ireland, whatever the case may be? Who do you need? Do you need to collaborate locally with a supply chain partner? Do you need to identify a distributor in the EU? Do you need to start having conversations with the large supermarkets on their expectations? But if you can resolve the logistics aspect, and Alexander, we did a logistics webinar like this in the past. I will share you a link. It's in English and Ukrainian, and I can share this with you afterwards because this might be part of the solution for your colleagues and companies here. If you can identify and resolve and create a solution for your logistics, it's very, very interesting to European buyers and EU buyers. It's very interesting that you have a good product with a good price and you have a logistics solution. Packaging, certification, all of this can follow. Packaging is only being to be localized and translated. Certification, if the product is within the EU and for a food product, it rarely comes at a product level. It's more of a company level. It's certifications like if you have BRC or if you have IFX or if you have SEDEX or if you're working towards or if you have an equivalent certificate, then that gives you in a very strong position. So you've got a good company, excellent product, good price and logistics solution. This is the perfect package. This takes the risk away from a buyer, and this allows you to make successful commercial connections with buyers who are interested in opportunities to identify new products, healthy products, products at a good price, and hopefully products in environmentally friendly packaging. So that's briefly my summary, Alexander. I think hopefully those key points make sense to your audience. And like I said, I'm available if they have any further questions after the event today.
Так, у нас відео буде відкрите, прикріплене, тобто контакти Майка є також в мене в нашій програмі, тобто ми можемо виступати такі, також напряму можете писати в Kwayga, там все дуже просто і зрозуміло, як на мене, це відкрив двері і ти вже на міжнародній арені і можеш спокійно працювати. Колеги, на цьому ми будемо завершувати. Дуже всім дякую. Слідкуйте за нашими анонсами. Наступний вебінар у нас буде за тиждень-два щодо виходу на ринки Еміратів, щодо виходу на ринки азійських країн. Тому радий був вас всіх сьогодні бачити. Майк, дуже дякую за приділений час і за те, що ви робите і розвиваєте ринки ЄС і українських виробників в тому числі. Всім дякую за увагу. Гарних вихідних, гарного вечора.
Thank you, Alexander. It was a pleasure today. Hope that was suitable for your audience, and thanks for arranging this.